tone deaf. He is still tone deaf.
Or maybe ni kiburi tu.
Tone deaf?
No. Tone deaf.
I
tone
don't.
deaf ni understand.
Notice Meg Whitman has disappeared.
Excuse me, hold on. In Megan?
Meg Jepchirchir Whitman.
Okay. Notice, correction.
Notice even the statement that came from the US Embassy, it did not have Meg Whitman's name. Meg has totally disappeared, and I will not be surprised if our calls of Meg Whitman must go.
But she's disappeared because people said they wanted to be. They clearly told her like where went on next. But remember, she's the one who, together with the IMF, who came with a report that there was gonna be a little bit of
austerity.
Notice Meg Whitman has disappeared.
Excuse me, hold on. In Megan?
Meg Jepchirchir Whitman.
Okay.
Notice
Correction.
Notice even the statement that came from the US Embassy, it did not have Meg Whitman's name. Meg has totally disappeared, and I will not be surprised if our calls of Meg Whitman must go.
But she's disappeared because people said they wanted to be. They clearly told her like where went on next. But remember, she's the one who, together with the IMF, who came with a report that there was gonna be a little bit of
austerity.
Oh, there's gonna be a little bit of maandamano, but then it's gonna be fine.
It's a pita too.
And I remember she was the first one to declare the elections.
Yeah, she was the first one to declare the elections free and fair. Yeah. And she was a brand new ambassador at that time. No diplomatic experience.
Alabaka put travel restrictions to Kisumu.
And then kumekuwa na scandal embassy ya visas. KTN did an expose. And then, like Kenyans, they've been delaying visas for Kenyans in that embassy. Unaambia sijui appointment iko sijui next year. And a lot of people who go apply are denied without any legit reasons. So I think this is an issue that Gen Zs need to look into, because that embassy in Nairobi has fleeced so many Kenyans. And I think this is something that needs to be addressed, because now Ruto's image globally, and this is the problem with our leaders, they do not negotiate on our behalf. All these silly agreements they've been negotiating. First of all, how come Kenyans, they did not negotiate for Kenyans to get 10-year visas like Rwanda has? Yeah, we don't have 10-year visas.
No NATO ally. Oh, carry on, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me not trigger you.
Yeah, now you see, and whenever negotiating, because the other place that I think Gen Zs need to look into, and we need to go into these spaces, is foreign policy. Because foreign policy determines so many things. Unfortunately, because diplomatic postings are those spaces that are not visible to Kenyans back home, this is where all failures are sent. This is where people who lost elections, this is where girlfriends, this is where, like all kinds of people who are being paid get sent. No. I mean, this is the season for revelation.
But
this is the season for revelation.
But Ali,
yeah,
girlfriends and boyfriends.
And boyfriends.
You have to be equal.
Yes, fair enough.
Kindly moving on.
Girlfriends and boyfriends, and that's the reason why we have. And it's not like we don't have qualified people in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but the people they send out as leaders, like even when you talk to them, unagundua kwamba wao ni vichwa yai, like they have nothing in their heads.
Tuliomba tuko na ule jamaa kwa Atlanta na diaspora nani?
Almost tell us more about him. Wendo likuwa huko.
Hata nimesahau.
No, they don't know who he is.
There was a name that was tulitajwa. There was a name that we were given. There was a diaspora liaison. Yeah, diaspora liaison or something.
Yeah, there's that one. But you remember you guys when we went for the dinner with champions with Wahome Wilson? We knew that. That's when we found out there was a Kenya diaspora.
That's the one. The diaspora.
The ladies.
No, the lady was
the ladies was it Tembea Kenya?
Tembea Kenya. That's no, the lady is Tembea Kenya. Tembea Kenya. Magical Kenya. Magical Kenya is totally different.
That's totally different.
Magical Kenya, all the kazi yao ni kuuza Kenya.
But you know, our diaspora, me I'm okay, you know, because I think as diaspora instruments were abused, it's a people who are in foreign policy. Foreign policy, you're discussing with people from the office of the U.S. Trade Representative. These guys have years of experience in WTO. Some of them have experience in Kenya. Some of them have experience. And the people who are coming on the other side to negotiate, they don't even know what they're negotiating about. You know, so whatever they're given, they accept. And that's the reason, you know, why when you look at a lot of deals that we get, they're very skewed. Unakuta kuna certain clauses, you're like, how did they accept this? So I think that's another space that needs to be looked into, foreign affairs, because that's where a lot of failures are sent.
I think Professor Monde is about to trigger you if you read the comment.
Haiti.
Okay, so Professor Monda says Haiti is a mess. Why are we doing the U.S. regional hegemonic imperialism on the cheap? What is WSR's cut on this mission? This was a cash deal. This Haiti, it was a cash deal. Dan Foote, who was a former U.S. envoy to Haiti, revealed that this was an idea that was actually pushed by Meg Whitman. This was an idea. Remember, but Meg Whitman doesn't have any geopolitical experience, doesn't have any diplomatic experience, and that's why, you know, people like Dan Foote had to pull out from the process. They were like, I mean, what kind of deal is this? I mean, of course, America does not want the image of U.S. troops, you know, like working boots on the ground in Haiti. At this point, U.S. doesn't want any of that. So they figure that the best thing to do is to find a blackface to perform this mission. And as you could see, Kenyans, the Kenyan police there, they are protecting the U.S. embassy. They're protecting Western assets, basically. That's the reason why they're there. And I think we're gonna invite, you know, like one of the Haitian ladies who is a radio presenter who came to one of our protests. We're gonna invite her to studio so that we can hear about this from Haitians' perspective.
I would also vote for Professor Monda to come to the studio when he's in DC.
Yes, Professor Monda, tell us when you're gonna be in DC.
We're not doing Zoom.
Hakuna ya Zoom. Wewe lazima ukute hapa.
Live and direct, yes.
Yeah, live and direct, Professor Monda.
It would be good to have on board.
Yeah, because there's so much. So basically, you know, like just going back to what we're talking about, Ruto's reputation international, and I think that's why there's so much anger from their side, because I think they spent so much time, money, and effort in building this, and it has come crumbling down. Because even if they survive these protests, they will move forward with zero credibility. Even with the Nusumkate cabinet that is going to be created, that's going to be even worse, because now the few people who still support you are going to be pissed that sasa umeleta watu wa Nusumkate huku, and they might join the Gen Z protests.
Ali, here's the thing. Again, and I think if you guys recall the roundtable that he had, not a roundtable, but they call the interview he had when he had with Joe Ageo, Linus, or is it Linus Kaikai?
Linus Kaikai.
Linus Kaikai.
And
Eric Latif.
Yeah.
And Eric Latif, I think, summed it very well when he said, when they conducted a survey and sampling of the questions, and you know, most of the questions or the summations were that he was tone deaf. He is still tone deaf.
Or maybe ni kiburi tu.
Tone deaf.
Wow. No. Tone deaf. Tone deaf ni understand.
And sometimes, but also
tone deaf nearly like you're not getting the tone of something, right? You have some, you're hearing but you understand. Iyake ni kiburi. Is it tone deaf? Iyake ni basically ni mutadu, like basically mutadu.
Yani ametupea middle finger.
Yeah, like it's because we cannot use the excuse of tone deaf mpaka sahi. No. From the lies, from the manipulation, from the spin they're trying to spin
I
right
tend
now.
to agree with Mika on this one.
Like
the interview with the shooting of the boy.
Yeah,
and his answer. Just think of that answer.
The lies, right? The lies that I'll do this and not do this. The falling back on his word that he fires then rehires, right? The abductions, the killings, the manipulation, right? The perceptions that he's trying to paint out.
Oh, absolutely.
That is not tone deaf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hiyo si tone deaf. Hiyo ni kiburi.
And then remember, in that interview with Kina Kai, he was saying, you know, like after all experts and all Kenyans have expressed their reservations with that bill, he was saying that Kenyans have missed out big time on whatever. So he was still insisting that this bill is good for Kenyans.
And again, and that's why I was saying, fine, I'll move from tone deaf to kiburi, but still he does not get it.
No, he gets it.
No, he
He gets it.
He totally gets it.
Choosing
he's just telling what he's doing. F you and the horse you already know.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Because
what can you do about it?
And then, you know, my theory also is that I think he owes a lot of people money. Simnajua, you know, like these guys, these flamboyant guys.
Engineer.
Our wanauza, you know, like our watu mtani wanauza drugs. The flamboyant guys. But then kuna masters wao pahali huko juu where they have to deliver the money.
Suppliers.
So sometimes they make the money and instead of going back to pay their suppliers, they buy lavish stuff na nini. So I think that's where he is right now. He's been cornered. There's some masters out there who we don't know.
The puppet master doesn't care
who he owes. Yeah, they're like, boss, you know, like we invested so much in you. You better pay us our money, because look at how America invested. Remember, a state visit is America's highest expression of soft power. When they go all out to give you a state visit, you have to pay back. You know, like you must pay back. When you look at all those raft of items that America wanted, and this is out there on plain sight on the White House website, and those are what they've listed. Then there are those secret ones. These guys were fully vested in having this guy 2 times, maybe even more, but now this is falling apart. So uko on the side, I'm sure, you know, like diplomats have back circles. I'm sure uko wanamgonga na chuma wanamwambia wewe, you know, tulikusaidia
so it's
lazima unini. So he's cornered.
So ni kama Dame flies you out Vegas, all expenses, all
guy
expenses
flies you out, or ama Dame flies you out?
The mama flies you out. Mama flies you out.
Yeah.
Fully expense you pay the travel.
Yeah.
Unakaa pale ile hotel ile Murwa huko ni Vegas. Bellagio.
Water fountain. View ya water fountain. Yeah.
Presidential suite of you. You of course at some point you'll be like
bana dem amekufly out amekupeleka Vegas, alafu mnaenda kwa bar na kutana na maboys wanakwambia unaekwaje na dem Vegas. Alafu unaenda kujaribu kumwambia unajua wacha nikakae na maboy, anakuambia wewe unafanya nikuleta huko nataka kucheza dice.
I rest my case.
Wacha hata kukana maboy.
I rest my case.
Wacha hata kukana maboy. Unaona maslay queens wengine hapo kando ambao wamejipa zaidi yule mamekuleta.
Wacha na slay quiz. Wewe umeletwa. Umejua mabakwanyiwa nini? Onda kumwambia ati wacha nikacheze goal. Kucheza goal maifu.
Hapa si kama kuna
kazi.
Hapa Mika ni authoritatively.
No si experience.
Amba observe.
No. Wewe jaribu wacha nikwambie kitu.
Amenecha hanging.
Mimi leo kitu yenye sitakubali ni watu kujaribu kuwaita Ruto. Hapana. Ruto hazi travel tuseme tu kweli vile iko man. You in a situation whereby he has to swing what he promised he will swing.
Yeah.
So atijura jaribu ati nimeitwa huko kando acha nikake kwa kikundi. Hakuna cha kwenda kwa kikundi likuleta huko. Zi fanya likuleta huku.
Sasa kwa hivyo hiyo kukaa kando ni kama Ruto kusema okay ni surrender, I will step down.
Hata siku step hata tukufuta watu kufanya nini like unaona every concession he has made he's pulled back.
He's pulled back.
There is nothing that is actually
He's gone back on his word.
He's gone back on his word.
He's gone back on his word.
Yes.
Even his campaign promises.
Yes, so everything
He has not fulfilled.
Hakuna kitu yote. So unaona, unasema hapo ndo umekutana na maboys kwamba tukacheze golf. Ukaenda kuomba ruhusa ucheze golf, unaambia ucheze golf kitu gani? Umejamoni sema hii kitu utapromise utanifanyia hivi na hivi nikalipa trip tukuje Vegas deliver.
Nyewe kama umekuwa Bellagio alafu kwa hoteli iko na view ya water fountain itabidi utiamri, and that's a situation that Ruto is in. he's basically a bitch of the international puppeteers.
Perfectly.
He is, and I think right now he's been cornered, so I think he has masters internationally and domestically, because there are so many people, because these guys ambao waliwatoa kwa cabinet mbona anawarudisha tena? They have something on him. He's compromised.
But could also be there on a certain mission, because if you look at the ones who were returned, the key players, it's not like they strayed. They were put back where they were.
Now, with Duale, now this is on X. I had this on X. I'm not saying this is factual. There was a bill, and I'm yet to see the bill. So this is something that I need to go verify.
Ilikuwa kwa deal.